In short, I spent 8 years on stage performing hip-hop music. And that's a very unorthodox background, but it's where I got my stage presence. And it's how I learned to command rooms. It's how I learned to overcome that stage fright. And I was pretty young doing it. I was in college between the ages of 20 to 24 years old. And that's where I hit my 150 stages. I'm talking open mics, showcases. Eventually I went on to headline my own concerts. And then I left the music industry and started hosting events in general. Then I landed on the TEDx stage. Needless to say, I've been in front of a lot of people. And it was a lot of pressure, especially so young. And the purpose of Speak with Power is to take my almost decade of stage experience and condense it into a few short sessions for the people that I serve. Hopefully to help them fast forward and get insight to all of the techniques and lessons I've picked up along the way. And that is what makes a great speaker, is repeated exposure and practice and training in front of real people under pressure. Before, the medium was music. Now, I'd say the vision is much more clear and it's much more deeper of a transformation, because instead of entertaining you for a few minutes, I'm giving you a deeper transformation by changing your life, giving you a life skill that you will be able to use forever. And that's really when my mission shifted from entertainment into education and transformation. Core skill set, always been the same, on stage, making a difference in people's lives. Now it's on a much deeper level. Instead of entertaining, I'm transforming your skill set. This is not motivational fluff. This is not, you can do it. This is applied training under pressure to train your behavior to communicate better in front of a large group. Who you are as a person, your personality is actually the biggest starting point that I try to analyze when I help people in my work. I try to see, okay, what are your natural skill sets? How confident are you on stage already? And how can we bring out some of that natural confidence that's in everybody? There's a natural leadership in everybody. And the energy levels 100% have to do with your starting point. There were times, especially when I first got into high school, or even before that in middle school, when I was like every other kid trying to fit in. Social cues have always been very important to young adults, always trying to stand out, always trying to find themselves, find their identity. And I was not always a good communicator. In fact, I was very shy and anxious and just trying to find my way like any other kid in this world. The answer to that question, how did I become a great communicator? It was repeated exposure under pressure. There was a lot of embarrassment. There was a lot of awkward moments. There was a lot of times when sometimes I look in the past and I'm like, ooh, man, I could have done that better. Even on stage when I started performing, it was awkward for a very long time. And then you start to pick up on behaviors and refine, and then you just start getting confident in your ability, even when you're not that good. And that is how it snowballs into mastery. That's at my core, that is what I train people to do, is acquire mastery in their public speaking. And it's in those small refinements over time that you see somebody on the stage delivering and you're saying, wow, that person's just got it.